When Ligonier Ministries began many, many years ago, we were visited by a man whose job was to be a consultant to various business and Christian ministries, and he was helping us to define our purpose. And he said to me, he said, "R.C., what is the single most important thing that this ministry is designed to do?" And I said, "That's easy." And he said, "What?" I said, "To help people find out who God is." And I was quick to add to it, not that God is, because as we have already seen in our study of general revelation, God has plainly manifested his existence to every creature on this planet, and everybody, whether they acknowledge it or not, knows that God exists. But we need to come to a deeper understanding of who he is. What is his character? What is his nature? Because there's nothing in theology that defines everything else as comprehensively as our understanding of God. In fact, I will go so far as to say, as we understand the character of God, so we will understand every other doctrine in our thinking. They're that closely related. Now, in the history of academic systematic theology, it's customary that the first thing that you study or treat in theology proper or about the doctrine of God is the doctrine of what is called the incomprehensibility of God. Now that almost seems at the outset that you begin your study of God with a disclaimer, saying, well, we're going to start studying something we don't know anything about. And not only do we not know anything about it, but we can't know anything about it. Because when we use the term incomprehensible in our customary forms of speech, what we mean is unintelligible, ununderstandable. Just can't comprehend it. It's inconceivable. And so why even go any further in the study of theology if at the very beginning you say that the doctrine of God is such that God himself is incomprehensible? Well, here's one of those cases where a theological term is used in a more narrow and distinct and precise way than it is commonly used in everyday speech. What incomprehensible means with respect to God is not that we can't know anything about him, but that our knowledge of God will always be limited. That we can have an apprehensive knowledge of God, a meaningful knowledge of God, but we can never, even in heaven, have a knowledge of God that totally, exhaustively comprehends all that he is. In this sense, we're talking about being comprehensive in terms of being total or complete in our understanding. And so at the beginning we say that God is incomprehensible in the sense that none of us has or ever will have an exhaustive grasp of God.